Shalom to former Knesset member Moshe Feiglin.
Shalom, Yoni.
You were a member of parliament in the military operation Tzuk Eitan, and you see what is happening today. You're worried, you're concerned.
Worried is an understatement. Understatement of what's going on. Look, Yoni, what we have seen is how can I call it? A mini or little Holocaust. Much worse than the Kishinev pogrom, worse than the Kristallnacht. Worse. We got it all here in Israel. Everything we said in the last 25 years, every VIP that came to Israel, where did we take him? First thing when he landed, where did we took him? We took him to Yad Vashem. Why did we do this? We did this to say, hey, you see what happens over there when we don't have a state? This is why we need the state of Israel. So it will happen never again. And look what we got with all the army and the Air Force and the tanks. We got the biggest pogrom here in Israel since the Shoah.
What do you answer people who ask you, how did this happen?
We have to realize that the fact that 18 days passed since then, and we still did not revenge in a biblical way, and did not bring back the fear of all our neighbors and all the anti-Semites all over the world. What we actually did by doing nothing until now is that the very basic right to exist of every Jew on the globe disappeared. The situation of every Jew in America, in Melbourne, in Sydney, all over the world is like a situation after the Kristallnacht, before the Shoah, right now, because of us. Because we did not burn Gaza to ashes immediately. Immediately. And we did worse than that. We invite the Americans to come. What we did not do in 48, in 56, in 67, in 73, all the wars, we did now. Thank you, Bibi. Which means that we created here, we transferred Israel to a banana republic under the wings of America.
So you're unpleased with how things are going at this point?
I'm pleased. Again, unpleased is understatement. The Israeli policy right now destroys Israel. Simply as that. Already destroyed Israeli sovereignty to, I don't know what's left from it already. Already destroyed any kind of fear. I mean, every Muslim over the world got such a thrill from this beautiful scene that he saw on Simchat Torah. All our enemies understand that it can be done and just waiting to do it. And the people of Israel that's supposed to represent the good in the world, supposed to represent God, supposed to fight the evil, cannot do it in their homeland, opening the door to evil to come to the entire world. And when the entire humanity sees that the Jews don't do their job to bring the light over the nation, the light of God over the nation, anti-Semitism rise all over the world, just as we see now. Just as we see now.
But everyone's talking about defeating the Hamas, destroying, demolishing. You see it differently? You don't see that?
These are all nonsense. Just hot air comes out of politicians' mouth. What do you mean demolishing Hamas? And tomorrow they're going to call themselves jihad. And yesterday they called themselves PLO. And today they call themselves the Palestinian, the Harashut, the Palestinian Authority. There is no difference between this Arab Muslim and that Arab Muslim. It's the same mentality. I was not surprised. Everybody said that they were very surprised to see how cruel they can be. I was not surprised at all. Didn't you see the ISIS? Do you think there's a difference? That is the culture. So you think that you, with your Western eyes, will call them a different name and pour money on them, and they're going to start thinking like you? This is a religious war, and the only way to win this war is by take back your promised land that they took away from you.
But there is a feeling that now there is a change. You don't see it?
And they don't know any other language. You can destroy building after building, and you can tell yourself a story how poor they are, and now they already understand that they should not start with you, and all this nonsense that we're feeding ourselves in order to keep the Oslo mentality, and in order to all these politicians and all these generals that grew up on top of the Oslo concepts in the last 30 years to keep their positions and to keep lie to the Israeli public.
Listen carefully.
They should all fly away. Bring those generals that you did not let rise up and get the positions that they should have gotten, because they were not slaves to the Oslo mentality, like Efi Eitam, like Ofer Winter, like Ofek Buchris. Bring them now from wherever they are and put them on top. Mm-hmm. That's what you should do, if you want to win.
So
and
what
the same
needs
thing,
to
and
be
the same
done
thing
now?
in America too.
4 things.
Yeah.
4 things. Destroy Gaza. If you want, I'll tell you exactly how. The upper Gaza and the tunnels under.
That's Gaza.
Only then. Send the army in. Make sure that all the people of Gaza are running to Rafiah. Create a tremendous humanity crisis. You should create it. Level the whole places, just as you did in Gush Katif and in Yamit. It seems like that we know how to do it when we want.
Can you stop it for a second? Stop it.
And rebuild Gush Katif.
So what he's talking about right now, he's like, Gush Katif was the Jewish town in the Gaza Strip that the Israeli government ripped away people forcibly ripped away Jews from their homes, right?
And Yamit was in the Sinai.
And demolished it. So what he's saying is, obviously, the government has, they know how to do it when they have the will to, right? Yeah. So do the same thing to, at least do the same thing to that place. But the real reason to demolish it is to collapse the tunnels, to uncover them and to collapse them. It's not just about revenge and, we want to get back. There's a reason for that. The whole place is a network of tunnels that's where they're storing the weapons. That's where they're hiding. Anyway, continue, please. Sorry.
That's what needs to be done immediately. That's the only answer. Anything less than that, you'll be defeated, and you'll get the same things again and again, in a worse way.
And how do you look at the American hug, the American support?
When you're saying hug, I thought you're talking about the hug, the international court in Hague.
The Hague.
The American hug is a bear hug. if I'm saying it right. Hug of a bear. I respect the Americans. They should not be here. We should not take any assistance from them. I cannot even start to describe what a disaster we're bringing on ourselves, when the only reason why we don't react in the last 19 days is because of the Americans, which means that we are going to be defeated because we got help from the Americans. And being defeated in a situation like that is to invite all our enemies in and out to do it again and again, including the Egyptians, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what I mean? Do you understand what it means, this American hug? Do you think that the last airplane that gonna leave Israel gonna have place for you and me? Look at the pictures from Afghanistan. That's how you're gonna look like. You'll keep on leaning on the American hug. Remember what happened in Vietnam when they threw to the water the famous picture when they throwing to the helicopters to the water to make some room for some refugees on the boats. You want Israel to look like that? Open your gates for the American forces. Or in Iraq, how Iraq looks today? You want more examples? All the examples. I know only one time when the Americans decided not to help us. You know when, Yoni? You remember when? In Auschwitz. The Americans are not coming here because they love our beautiful Jewish eyes. They have their interests. And the minute their interests will be changed, will be different, they'll be long gone. And we will be stripped from the ability to protect ourselves.
So the situation now is difficult, but you see the togetherness, you see the soldiers.
Definitely, yes. Look, I know that we are going to win because we are the people of the infinity, if I said it right. Am Netzach.
Eternal.
I don't think that God brought us here after 2,000 years as a macabric joke. No, we are going to win. And we have the strongest people, amazing people, what we see. So I know we're going to win. But it is our duty to look at reality and understand where the problem is and deal with that. Cannot say, okay, it's all now. Let them keep on doing. Let those who brought us that horrific situation keep on doing whatever they want. That we cannot do. So we are going to win, but we have to look at reality in the eyes in order to save Am Yisrael from its own leaders. For 30 years, and you know what I'm talking about. For 30 years, my friends and myself are talking about the need of Jewish leadership to Israel. There was never point in the Jewish history that we needed that more than now. So at least now understand that you cannot trust Bibi, and you cannot trust Sharon, and you cannot trust any leader, definitely not from the left, but also not from the right, that is not thinking through emunah, through Jewish faith.
Mm-hmm.
And not jumping on the Americans, come save me.
Former Knesset member, Moshe Feiglin, thank you very much.
So Moshe Feiglin is obviously not English as a first language,
Yeah.
struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
And
It's all
I
right.
know for a fact that when he when he says the Americans, he's talking about the American political class. He's talking about the deep state.
Yeah.
He's not talking about like,
Regular people.
Hickok 45 in Tennessee. That's
Yeah.
one of the YouTube channels I watch, the gun channel.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's not talking about that guy.
Yeah.
He's talking about the swamp creatures in Washington. The same, the which are analogous to the swamp creatures in Israel in the Knesset.